Good morning. Shalom. Welcome back to Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. And if it is your first time here, welcome. My gratitude to those of you who have liked, shared, subscribed, and commented. And it would be greatly appreciated if you would continue to do so. This morning, I am beefing. I am beefing about several things. The first thing I'm beefing about is William Ruto. Now, when you tag something or when you brand something, it shows ownership. It shows that you own that thing, that person. In the days of slavery, we were branded to show ownership, that somebody owned us. And to today, they still tag animals to show ownership. William Ruto has agreed to essentially put every newborn in his country back into slavery by having them tagged. They call it something else today, but it is still tagging to show ownership. William Ruto, it's time for you to get off this planet and go back to that very wicked, sick dimension in which you were hatched. The other beef I have is with some of my cousins from the United States of America. Now, a lot of swarthy, melanated Americans seem to think that they were the only ones that went through the hardships of slavery. Well, let me tell you something. The Willie Lynch doctrine was practiced in Jamaica and the Caribbean before it was brought to the United States of America. Actually, I do believe Willie Lynch left Jamaica and went to the United States by way of invitation to spread that doctrine. And some of my swarthy American cousins seem to think that they were the ones that started the fight for reparations. Well, let me tell you something. You're the Johnny-come-latelys to the demand for reparations. And when you decide to emulate your oppressors and take on their arrogance and ignorance and speak badly about immigrants and the Caribbean and other swarthy nations, you need to remember this. I give you the 1739 treaty between the Leeward Maroons and the British. And that is the Leeward Maroons of Jamaica. And that treaty included a demand for reparations, which was supposed to be paid to the Maroons yearly. 1739. Okay? I give you Marcus Messiah Garvey. He was born in St. Anne's Bay in Jamaica in 1887. And he was the founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. He organized the first American Black national movements in Harlem in 1919, and that lasted until 1926. And that organization had approximately 2 million members. So, once again, he was born in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, Paul Bogle, born in 1822 in St. Thomas, Jamaica. He led the Morant Bay protest for freedom and reparations in 1865. And as a result of that revolution, he was executed. I give you Samuel Sharp, born in 1804 in St. James, Jamaica. Okay? And he led the Christmas Rebellion of 1831, and he was hanged in 1832, which led to the Abolition Bill in 1833, which ended slavery in Jamaica. Okay? And all these people were fighting for the freedom of all Swarte people and reparations. I give you George William Gordon, who was born in Morant Bay, Jamaica. And he also helped in the planning of the 1865 rebellion against the oppressors, and he was also executed as a result. I give you Nanny of the Maroons, because we can't leave our other Swati family members out. And she was born in Ghana in 1886. She was an outstanding military leader, and she was a master in guerrilla warfare and made it impossible to be defeated in battle. Hence the treaty which included reparations. The Nation of Islam and the Rastafarians were inspired by Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. And if you listen to the songs of the Rastafarians, you will see that they have been fighting for the rights of all melanated or Swarte people and for reparations ever since they burst on the scene. So, you need to think twice about insulting immigrants and insulting people from the Caribbean when it comes to fighting for justice and freedom for the Swarte nations of this world. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Some years back, I was in Barbados, and I was sitting on a beach in St. Lawrence Gap. I was staying at the Divi South Winds, and it was my third week there. And I was sitting on the beach, contemplating motherhood and why it wasn't happening for me. See, I had a severe pain in my tummy, and that severe pain told me that I was not pregnant. And I was sitting on the beach contemplating the pain, the state I was in, and why motherhood wasn't happening for me when I wanted it so badly. Nothing happens before the time. And this man walked away from his wife and children who were on the beach with him and came over to have a conversation with me. And during the conversation, he asked me when I was leaving, and I told him I was leaving later that afternoon. Barbados, beautiful, wonderful island, the most giving, loving, generous, pleasant people, wonderful people. I can't say enough about them. I must go back one more time. And he learned that I was leaving that afternoon. And he said to me, "So are you going to Kennedy?" I said, no, I'm going to Pearson International in Toronto. And the conversation went on. So are you stopping in Kennedy? No, I'm taking a straight through flight from Barbados to Pearson International in Toronto. And then the conversation went on, and are you sure you're not stopping in Kennedy? No, we have our own airport. We have at least 10, a minimum of 10 in Canada. And I'm going straight. And then this ignorant man asked me, so what is it like to live in igloos? And it was at that point I said to him, you better go kick rocks. And I think I squashed the grapefruit that I was holding in my hand. Because, Barbadian grapefruits with a little salt water on them, a little seawater. Tastes very good. And I just wanted to sit there and contemplate and enjoy my grapefruit. But I knew the minute he started walking over to me that he would be messing up my day. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about tonight is the eclipse that just took place. A lot of people have a lot of misconception about the eclipse. They do not realize that it is a spiritual marker. It is a spiritual marker that was put in place for Yasharon, the Creator's chosen people. And how did I spend my time during the eclipse? I spent it outside, barefooted, laying down on my back, looking up at the eclipse and expressing my gratitude to the Creator for keeping His word and for putting that glorious symbol in the sky to tell us what time it is. The time of Esau is over. It is time for Jacob to rule. We are the head and not the tail. And don't let anyone tell you any different. It is time for the head to stop chasing the tail and for the head to rule. And I will bring your attention to Acts 2:17-21. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Creator, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. How many people are prophesying these days? And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire, and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of the Creator. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Creator shall be saved. And now I'm going to read to you from Genesis 16 verse 13. We talk about the 100 years of servitude that we are required to go through as a punishment for disobeying the Creator, but we never tell you where to find it. Know that Esau's rule is over and Jacob's rule is imminent. So Genesis 16 verse 13, and this is the Creator speaking to Abraham, our great grandfather. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. So, yes, we need to demand our reparations from the oppressors. We need to demand the return of our instruments and our implements, because they must be returned to us, and reparations must be paid. And the time is going to come when they are going to be begging us to take our instruments and implements back. And the time is going to come when they are going to be begging us to take our reparations. So, for those of you who think that you have the lowdown on reparations, the Creator's words will not return to him void. I give you my peace. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I give you my peace. I give you my ahab. Until next time, shalom.